It's fine. It's good. All right. Great. Yeah, just tell me, hey, when you first got the call from me,
Well,
what was your thinking?
well, at first I thought it was a gag. Hey, I got this boat in Maine, 48 footer. I'm going to bring it out. It needs a little work. I thought, you know. Then I got to talking to you, and I realized you had a boat, so that's big. And then we traded some emails and whatnot. You sent me some pictures. And then you were going to load the boat up and bring it here, but you had a little accident, broke the mast. So that set us back a few months. But that was okay. I had other stuff to finish up, Cheerios mast and all that. Then when I saw the boat, when it first came here on the trailer, it was pretty obvious there was a lot of short planks and stuff going on. But I had that mast job on Cheerio, so we went ahead and put you back in the water, and you made a nice trip to Catalina, and here we are. And now we're doing sister frames.
Well, here, let's talk. Do me a favor. Just slide
Yeah.
a little bit this way, and then
Yeah.
and look at me. You have to
Okay.
Look, okay. Don't just look away. You have to kind of look at me.
Okay.
And tell me when you first set eyes on her. Just like forgetting the work. Tell me about her style and what did you think? Have you have any experience with these kinds of boats? But just give me your gut feeling about her.
Well, I had seen the pictures you emailed me, and so it wasn't a real big surprise when I saw her. It's a pretty boat, Lauren Giles design, and it's got some pedigree going on there. But, she's pushing 60, and it's time to take care of Grandma. So that's where we're at now. It's really a question of putting a new bottom on her, and as you know, and some frame repairs. Not so bad, but as to be expected. We have to do some repairs to the forefoot and some other stuff. But aside from that, it's basically a big planking job, that's all. And I imagine you want to get some pictures of the tree we bought. The wood is a sapele. It's a cousin to African mahogany. It's from Africa.
It's getting a lot of rustling.
Hello. Was I doing something to the wire?
No, it's just.
Are you hearing this good?
What's that? Oh, I'm hearing fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about conditions of a 50-year-old boat. I mean,
it's about what you would expect, and that's one of the reasons we had it x-rayed. And that showed us all the keel bolts and the structural bolts and so forth. We found a few things. One of them we've already fixed, because you just can't know. Somebody says, well, I put these bolts in. When did you put them in? And so the x-ray showed, the bolts to be pretty nice, as you saw. And so there's not much of that going to go on. The only bolt work we're going to have really is when we do that cap on the forefoot. Then we got to take every bolt out of every floor timber and re-drill and so forth. But aside from that, as a 50-year-old boat goes, she's better than most all of the ones I've seen. Partly because of her original construction, and the only problem she really had was some of the hasty repairs, and I realized that that's a large function of the short sailing season back in Maine. Oops, let's fix her, put her back in the water, and that's okay to do if you know that you're going to be eventually someday going long, going large, and that's what we're doing now.
So you feel like it's worth doing the renovation of the boat?
Yeah, I do. I mean, worth is a funny word in today's market, But what are you going to do? Sell it and buy a fiberglass boat? A Catalina 42? No, it's just one of those boats. You got to, if you can afford it, you got to keep it. You got to take care of it.
How about to a boat, to somebody who's interested in repairing and working on wooden boats? Like, if you were watching this as a video, what would be some of the things you'd hope to see that you might be able to show? Hey, for people who are interested, I'm going to tell you we're going to have some interesting stuff here. Is it all pretty routines?
Well, I tell you, one of my favorite things is planking. And the reason I like the technology is old, but it's still good. And the planking is, of course, what makes it a boat, what keeps the ocean out. It's a funny technology. It's so many people make it tougher than it should be. And I think, in answer to your question, that I would like to see some of that go on, to show how to simplify the planking process. Not that there's anything simple about it, but take a lot of the math and the trigonometry and all that out of it, to keep the numbers game at a minimum, so that you just, it's a kind of a touchy-feely thing sometimes, but I think that would be a good thing for people to see because it's just not seen anymore. When I was growing up, we didn't even look twice, everything was wood. Nowadays, there's just not that many around anymore, so it'd be an interesting thing for people to see, I think.
So this week we're going to see sister framing.
Right.
What do you think people will see on this week's episode of Restoring Susanna?
In Area 51.
Yeah, what do you think we're going to see here in Restoring Susanna?
Well, we're going to work mainly on the frames this week, and soon we'll have to get out to the lumber stack and start spreading it out to see our various shapes in the lumber and begin to designate which piece goes where. And again, we'd like to get the first 3 or 4 planks in the bills for sure in full length. We have the lumber to do that. After that, it's really a function of setting out your butt schedules and so forth. But to answer your question, this week is, sister frames, more plank removal, and maybe towards the end of the week, we might start getting the garbage in. So, yeah, because the garbage, they don't have to go in right away, but until they're in, we can't start taking more planks off. Okay, so the garbage will go in, and we'll move some more planks, and the first broad strakes will begin to go in. And at that point, we've stabilized the lower portion of the hull again, and now we can just go to town on the upper planks and do what we need to do. As we talked earlier, we want to see if we can reestablish that 1 1/8 inch thickness or whatever that she once was, because there's areas where she's down to 7/8 and probably less. But we'll see how it goes. We'll certainly give it a try, But I think we should be done with the lower sister frames this week and the garbage starting on. Next week will probably be, we will have to address the 4-foot after the garbage, because everything comes off of that, and we'll have to spend a few days with that. While that's going on, though, I think the guys can take off some more planks and do some more cleanup and, that sort of thing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.